Ever had the Illuvium Arena timer ruin your fun? Here's a super simple checklist to make every single round easier. It only has 5 steps and makes each Illuvium Arena round feel as simple as playing Temple Run. When I started playing just like you, I kept coming in last, but this checklist got me into the top 4 every time without feeling too overwhelmed during this fast-paced brawl, okay? So I'll walk you through all 5 steps, show them in action, and by the end, you'll do it just as easily as I am. So first up, let's have a look at the checklist, okay? So it allows you to follow easy indicators every single round, helps you eliminate the noise, and it removes the guesswork of each and every turn. Let's break down the 5 steps really quickly, then I'll go in more depth, and then we'll check it out during gameplay as well. So first, you need to check your opponent and their strengths. This is important information you need before following every other aspect in this checklist. Second, you need to open up your crates, combine your augments, and all the rest of it. After that, you need to do your level up, reroll, all your really standard stuff you do throughout the turn, but these first 2 steps are really important before you know what to do for this 3rd step. After that, on your 4th step, you will adjust your position. On your 4th step, you will maximize the synergies on your board. A lot of people really miss this, and it can actually have a more outsized impact than positioning, and so that's why it's before positioning, which is your 5th step, which will help you win 20 to 30% more often each round, which can really be the big difference between coming top 4 or coming maybe 5th or 6th. So that is important to maximize all that. And then at the very end, there is a 6th item that's really super easy to utilize, but incredibly important, but you need to know everything else before I reveal that at the end. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to maximize its potential. So please like and subscribe for more, use my referral code, and let's jump into it. So first up, we've got the check your opponent. You need to look at their alluvials and their synergies and assess if your current team on your board can win and defeat them, or if it's going to be cost way too much for you to win, and so maybe that will influence the rest of your turn. Consider positioning and the quantity of their DPS units in particular. If they have all tanks, then you need to take that into consideration, and so checking your opponent is vital at the start of every single round, or else you will miss it, and I miss it often. This is helping me do it way more often now. After that, you've got your crates and augments. Always open your non-synergy and non-composite crates if they're available. Equip augments to your alluvials, but also based on what you saw from your opponent, you can either evaluate whether to combine your augments together and create them and get the new crates, or just wait based on how strong your opponent's board currently is and if you think you can win or not. After that, we need to level up and re-roll the shop. Now, do not sacrifice your economy if you cannot win that fight, and or winning that fight would not benefit you. And if a stage 2 alluvial really helps you on your board and you think doing a few rerolls will help you get there, you can definitely roll down to get that thing. So making sure you know what your position is like first and then going into level up and shop reroll will really help you get rid of some of those inefficiencies in your game. If a level up helps, you can also do that as well, of course. After that, we need to maximize the synergies on our team. If you have 2 or 3 bulwarks, if you have 2 out of 3 bulwarks, you should really try and finish that synergy because it's going to give you a big boost to your team. This goes the same for maybe 3 or 5 fire, 4 water, 2 or 4 air, and 3 or 5 earth. Really try and finish off those synergies. 3 fighter as well. Just really try and maximize and try not to have too many unactivated synergies in your composition at any given time, but this is more important towards the late game of the Illuvium Arena. After that, you need to position your team. The rules for these are very, very simple. Ensure your DPS alluvials attack their DPS alluvials last. If you have the time to position, this is going to make a big, big difference to just how often you're winning and just how often you're coming even in the top 3 in the game. This is what separates 99% of players from the top 1%. Make sure your bulwarks soak up damage and avoid or benefit from big line of sight omegas such as Fern, Elfie, Flish, and Scarabok. Okay, they shoot a lot of omegas to the opposite corner. If you can avoid or benefit from those omegas, you're going to have a really big advantage. Now let's walk through this use in game. Let's have a look at the early game where you want to focus on steps 1 through to 4 to minimize lost HP with an emphasis on economy management. Please don't waste your resources on losing fights. Let's have a look right here. We can see right here that they enter the fight, and you can see we're assessing our opponent's team. Okay, let me grab the checklist somewhere else so I have it for myself. That's better. Okay, we're assessing the opponent's team. Now, right now, we can see they have very little DPS. If we can kill that Volante early, we're probably fine. After that, we're going to manage crates and augments, so we're going to equip our last augment preferably, and then after that, we decide if we need to roll or anything. We're seeing that he's also level 3 like us. It's probably not necessarily level up, and it's probably not necessarily roll for more alluvials because we've got a lot more DPS than he has on the board, and so we're going to equip everything. After that, we're going to maximize our synergies. We can see we've got 2 out of 2 fighters, which is really the goal here. Very hard to get anything else onto our board. And then we're going to position the team, and you can see I set up the fighters exactly so I could make sure to eliminate his DPS in the Volante straight away before it took me out. And with that, that fight is going to be incredibly easy to win. You can see I'm also trying to figure out if re-rolling next turn is going to be good, so maximizing your time at all points, even while the fight is going on, is really beneficial to you as well. Very, very easy win in the early game there. Now, these are not all wins. I'm going to show you where I make mistakes too. After that, well, we've got another early game win. Very, very similar thing here. We can see all his DPS is concentrated in those Scions at the back, and I'm trying to maximize those synergies. You can see I got 3 Bulwarks, 2 Fighters, and 4 Water. I've got perfect basic synergies on the left there. If you can pull that off in the early game, it's going to make a big difference to just how often you win these matches in the early, mid, and late game. So let's get into the mid game now, where we're going to try, most fights are going to come down to positioning and synergy management. Also, leveling up and re-rolling are key to finding important units. We can see what I can do here. So if we look at the start of this match right here, we can see he has his Riptor at the back there. He's got a Monkier at the back left, and I've got my Riptor and my Ranger, which are my 2 DPS, in the back left. If I kill his DPS before he kills mine, I win. If he kills mine first, I lose. Really, so you've got to do this, you've got to go through, you've got to then manage your crates and augments. I need to level up because I think I need a little bit more DPS. We were balanced. We were 3 against 3 with the Ranger and stuff, and now I'm 4 against 3, right? No, now we're 3 against 3. He had 3 to my 2, okay? So with leveling up, I know I can manage to fight off my opponent, managing the crates and augments, step 2 of the checklist. Leveling up and re-rolling. I leveled up a little bit early because I knew I needed to, but you get the point. Then maximizing synergies, you can see I hit 6 Water, 4 Fighter, 3 Bulwark, and 2 Templar. Getting composites on the board in the mid game is incredibly important. Several are easier than others, but you get the point. Get the composites on the board. And then you can see we play it out. Now, the problem was that I didn't play it very well, and I did not maximize the movement of the different alluvials, where he did much, much better than me. He's a much better player, but you can see that his Riptorus is actually going to path much better than mine, and mine is simply going to lose. You can see my Araya goes to the front, and the Riptorus both fight against each other, but really you want his Riptorus to be fighting against one of your Bulwarks so that it doesn't beat you out. He beat it out with Augments, obviously. He didn't have necessarily much better. He had Toxic as well, which helps. But you can see with the Augments that his Riptorus won, and mine went down first, so I basically just lost. And so that's really how you need to manage that positioning. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of work, but if you're doing it even 1%, there are a lot of players that aren't really doing it at all. And so you can maximize it and you can win like that. The last one is in the late game. And you can see against my opponent right here, you can see they don't have too much DPS. They've got the Alfie, Dash, and the Penguin, and the Ranger. So they've got 4 DPS. I've only got 3 in the Ranger, Riptorus, and Rye. But you can see that I go to level up. I think I go to level up here. No. I roll down to try and get that Rip Lance, okay? Now, I know that Rip Lance is going to give me the equivalent of like 3 or 4 DPS. It's a very powerful alluvial. It's going to really help me win because his Alfie is only stage 1, his Dash is only stage 1, and he doesn't seem to be rolling or changing up things too much. He did level up, so I'm down a little bit on that as well. But I know that I can definitely win because I'm just close enough to Rip Lance. I know I can achieve it, and so that's going to help me win. So check the opponents, make sure everything's equipped, level up your shop, and re-roll if you need to defeat your opponent, if that's important at this stage of the game. Maximize your synergies. You can see I've done that really, really well on the left here. I've got a lot of things activated. Position your team and making sure Rip Lance goes in pretty much last so he does not die too quickly. And I'm able to take out the Stabon really, really fast. And then we get to the secret tip. And that is to manage your economy. Maximize it, okay? If the battle is playing out, you can then sell a bunch of stuff on your board to hit the next 10 gold threshold. Even during the fight, you should be managing your economy, watching your opponents at all times as much as you can. If you're on 39 gold and maybe you've got like a Matmut on the board, just sell it, get that 50 gold. That extra gold is going to be so beneficial later on in the game. Maximize every single credit. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out this Illuvium Arena Beginner's Guide. Have a good one.